Hey guys, welcome to the Good Buddies Anime Podcast. I am your good buddy Roger.
And I am your good buddy Brandon.
And we are going over episodes 3 and 4 of Fooly Cooley Alternative this week.
Fooly Cooley Alternative, he says. Wow.
Yeah, good little bunch of 2 episodes there.
The good
and I'm
old
really excited.
FLCL.
I'm really excited for tomorrow's episode.
Yeah, like we both watched that. We can't talk about it in a second.
I guess, before we go into our normal segment of what have you been watching, we'll just go ahead and say now we watched that 5th episode and we're not going to talk about it
at all.
Yeah.
Not even going to bring it up.
If you haven't seen it, go see it.
Yeah. But anyway, anything going on, big boy?
Yeah, man. I've been watching some new series. There were a lot of new things that popped up.
So, what have you been watching?
There are 2 in particular that I want to talk about. I did watch another new one.
Okay,
called,
bring it.
Actually, one that's not new, but it was a new episode. The Violet Evergarden, the new episode of that.
You told me about that. I have not watched it yet.
It's gonna make it'll. Whenever you watch it, we'll talk about it then.
I'll definitely cry.
Yeah, they really went for it, dude. They really went for it. That show always really went for it, though.
Just and my heart.
Yeah. And then I watched a show called SSSS Gridman.
That's way too many S's.
It was pretty sweet. It's
now is it SSSS Gridman or is it Gridman?
It's 4 S's Gridman.
Okay.
It was based off of an older show. It's the same people that make like Ultraman and stuff like that.
Oh hell yeah!
It's a kaiju anime.
You got some kaiju. You got some big fighting boys.
The best way I can describe the first part of the episode, of like the first half, is you don't know what the fuck is going on. And if you're not familiar with Gridman, like I'm more familiar with Ultraman.
Sure.
I've heard of Gridman in the past. I didn't even know the anime was coming up. I saw it on Verve. I was like, oh, I have to definitely watch this. And the first half of it is like a freaking panic attack, dude. It's like so, it's just so damn, there's so much and so little at the same time.
It's just wild.
Yeah, it's just wild. And it's not even like, kaijus are coming out right away wild. It's like, what the hell is going on here wild?
It sounds like some good shit, man.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. But that is not the one that I want to talk about. One of the 2 that I want to talk about.
I think I know what you want to talk about.
Yes, and I think a lot of people can probably figure out one of the ones that I want to talk about if they're listening on this week. Because it's been making its rounds. But first, I will talk about an anime, and I told you the other night you need to watch it. It's called Skullface Bookseller Honda-san.
You did tell me about that.
And oh my god, dude.
Is it so good?
It's so good, man. It's so good. Essentially, the anime starts, the animation style of it is very similar to Archer, something like that.
Okay, I'm into that already.
Which immediately, I don't like that animation style.
I'm fine with it.
But
take it back to Frisky Dingo.
I'm sold on this anime. I am not going to miss a single episode of it.
That really speaks to it though, because I know animation style is a big thing for you. So the fact that you're like into this thing you're not usually into.
I was cracking up, dude. It's definitely. I was kind of bummed once Asabi was done. I was bummed when it was done. I was like, there's not going to be anything as funny as this. And I don't know. I can't say that this is going to be as funny as Asabase, but it definitely is funny, and I definitely was cracking up. The first thing you get in it are these people trying to explain what a common person would be like that you would find working in a bookstore.
Okay.
They're like, if it's a guy, he's very skinny. He's essentially, like your skinny, typical nerd. And then they're like, well, if it's a girl, she's definitely got to have glasses and big boobs.
Yeah.
And
they're going over the tropes.
Then it pans to Honda, who works in a bookstore,
and
who is also a skeleton.
Okay. He is very skinny. They nailed it.
He is totally a skeleton. And everybody else in the bookstore, there's like somebody wearing a knight's helmet. There's a bunch of weird people working in this bookstore, and it is never explained.
Does this shit take place in fucking Dark Souls?
No, it just is what it is. The customers are normal.
Okay.
The customers are normal. Kind of.
Okay,
they look normal.
All right, I'm just gonna have to watch this.
So without ruining anything, the first episode, I won't. There is the first part. It's split into two things. Kind of like know, Asabi had like 2 to 4.
Yeah.
This had 2.
Okay.
So the first part, he was dealing with an American customer that did not speak very much Japanese.
Okay.
But the person that did the voice acting was definitely a Japanese person.
Okay.
But they were speaking in English in parts.
Oh, no.
And it was fucking hilarious. There's one part of it too. Jesus! You have to see it, dude. And then the books. There is a recurring theme in the type of book that people are trying to buy.
Okay.
And I won't ruin that for you.
All right.
It is fucking amazing, dude.
Dude, you got me all tightened up, man. I'm gonna have to watch this now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna have to watch it, and I recommend that everybody else watch it. Because it is. I've been waiting all week to talk about these 2 shows.
Okay.
Maybe more so than the anime we're breaking down.
Oh, no.
I was so pumped about these premieres. So, yeah. On Crunchyroll, it is called Skullface Bookseller Honda-san.
Gotcha.
But it does have another name.
It's going on the watch list right now.
And then the next anime that I want to talk about is the one that everybody's been buzzing about. I will probably watch the whole thing. Brandon probably won't watch a single episode of it.
Based on what I've heard, probably not.
Yeah, I told Brandon a little bit about it, and I'll go ahead and go over that real quick. It is Goblin Slayer. So it's Square Enix, and I don't know who else is working on it. I just know Square's in it. It's essentially your typical RPG anime. Now, a lot of times you catch these, and it's characters playing an RPG, kind of like Recovery of a MMO Junkie, where they're the real people and then there's the RPG people. But this one is just the RPG people are the real people. The people in the game, it's not a game, it's real. Okay. The characters go to these schools or universities for their class. Our main character we find at the very beginning, there are a bunch of ranks. She's a porcelain rank, which is at the very bottom. She is a white mage. She is out ready to take her first quest, maybe form a clan. And she does form a clan with a fighter, a black mage, and a warrior. And they're going to go on a mission to kill some goblins. Now, goblins in this world are essentially like if you ran into goblins on Final Fantasy. Usually, something like that would be second stage. You start finding some goblins or creatures similar to that, imps. Sure. And you take them down real quick. And the warrior was like, yeah, we had a couple of goblins run into my village whenever we were kids, and I managed to run them off then. So no big deal. Well, they go into this cave because these goblins have abducted 2 girls in a local village.
Awful.
Yep, terrible.
Monsters.
And it's happy-go-lucky, dude. It's all thumbs, man. We're having a good time. We're cracking up a little bit. We're on a freaking adventure. So they get in this cave. And before you know it, they see this little sign in the cave that looked like a sign at the start of the cave. They notice it, and they're like, okay, we're going to keep going down this way, since it's the only way to find these goblins. And 2 of them stay behind. The black mage and the white mage are talking about something, while the other 2 walk ahead. Now, they don't get very far ahead, but goblins come up from behind. And they're like, where the hell did these goblins come from? It's like 2 goblins. And the black mage, they're freaking out a little bit, but the black mage does a fire spell. She kills a goblin.
Nice.
And she's like, oh, yeah, I got one.
Whipped little ass.
Yeah, and then some more goblins appear. And pretty soon, a goblin jumps up and stabs her right in the chest.
Jesus.
Blood goes everywhere. And at that moment, you're like, oh, shit. So the other 2 characters come running back really fast. Warrior starts slashing goblins apart. More and more and more keep piling up in this horde. And eventually they overpower the warrior. They got him down. They are ripping him apart.
Just the blood and guts everywhere.
Yeah,
kind of shit?
Well, not as it does this thing where it doesn't really show. You can tell what's happening, but it doesn't show.
Okay.
And that's key into a scene later that is very heavy.
Yeah, maybe you definitely mentioned that to me. Maybe we kind of glass over that one.
Yeah. I mean, I will...
Just in case anyone listening.
I will lightly mention... Because I don't want... Anybody that's not comfortable with that, I definitely don't want them to go into this anime and just be like, totally like, it ruin their day.
Just know there is
because you should know a little bit. There is some implied...
assault.
Yeah. Beyond assault.
Sexual
stuff. We'll just, it's the R word.
Yeah. It's not cool.
Yeah. It is, so the fighter is a female.
Uh-huh.
And they beat her down, and
it's not good.
It is not good. They start ripping her clothes off, and the fighter's just like she tells the white mage who cast a healing spell on...
I watched some real happy shit, and you're over here.
Yeah. The white mage had cast a healing spell on the black mage, and the fighter's like, go, get out of here. So she's dragging the black mage out, but the black mage really isn't getting much better. So they're headed towards the entrance, and the black mage collapses because there's goblins coming around. They want to lighten the move a little bit.
Gobble.
They're coming around them, and they don't know what to do. The black mage is seemingly dying, and she looks back towards the entrance, our white mage, our main character, and there's this big knight much taller than these children who look like they're about 15 or 16.
And he will rock your world because he's the Goblin Slayer girl.
He tells them that he is Goblin Slayer.
Nice.
And he looks dope as hell. I'm not going to lie. He looks like a dope knight.
Okay.
And he obliterates these goblins. And the white mage is like... trying to get him to help her friend, the little black mage. And he's like, I have antidotes, but she's poisoned. She's too far gone. And it pans over to the black mage. She's like, kill me.
Jesus.
I was like, oh, God. So he slits her throat. He kills her.
Fuck off.
That's about as far as I'll go. Because it does go a little bit further.
I feel like you've gone far enough, sir.
Not to ruin the whole ending of the episode for anybody that does want to watch.
It sounds like some really intense, graphic shit.
If you can handle something like that, I do recommend checking out. If you're even thinking like maybe this might be too much, don't check it out because it is very dark.
Yeah, now, it's definitely something I'm not going to watch.
It didn't show anything.
Yeah.
Except for some blood and, things that I guess it could get away with just the MA rating.
This is one of those things that my curiosity will get the better of me, and I'll watch that first episode, and then I'll be like, cool, and just never go again.
I feel confident and comfortable enough I will probably watch the rest of it unless it just absolutely starts to suck and loses me, because it is definitely eye-opening. It is gripping.
Here's my question for you: is it like? Is the story, the characters, and the semblance of it, is that like catching you, or is it kind of one of those things where it's like violence for violence sake?
I would not say that.
Okay.
I would say that the violence, I know that it's going to be. It's that first episode fully prepared me that it is going to be there. But so the end of the episode sees two characters teaming up,
and they whip some ass.
No, they're about to go out on an adventure. You don't think that, I guess I didn't feel in the first episode that this was going to happen, but then it does, and you're like, okay, I do kind of want to see where it goes.
So like the end of it was like kind of like, oh shit, yeah. Like shit was going to go down.
Yeah, because there is a mystery around the Goblin Knight character.
Okay.
The Goblin Slayer. I want to know who this character is, and your little main character girl, like how there's a mystery around how this teamwork is going to be, because she is very low rank. She knows 2 damn spells: Holy Light and Heal.
Gotcha. But the whole thing is like it is in the style of an RPG. We're in the game, like yes, like do they show you a little health bars and menu?
This could be a very graphic RPG that you would.
But do they show you like health bars and menus?
No,
and shit?
No.
Okay.
They play it like it is real.
Okay.
So it's like like Psychopaths, Cowboy Bebop, or something like that. We'll say that could be a first-person shooter game or something. But they play it like it's real. These are real characters.
I got you.
There's nobody above them or playing them.
But like they have like potions
unless there's some sort of crazy twist
and shit. Okay.
Yeah. But right now it is gripping. It is intense. I'm definitely curious to see. I don't know, man. It caught me.
It's got you right now. It's got you.
So we'll see what happens. But
okay.
if you cannot handle heavier, darker things, I know this may be the longest segment of what have you been watching ever, and I have single-handedly taken it over myself. We will still ask Brandon what he's been watching. I'm gonna skip out on everything else I've been watching, but don't watch it if you can't handle stuff like that. I'm not gonna call anybody out for not watching something that dark or something like that. I wouldn't do that. I completely understand that a lot of people. This is some of the things in this show, in this episode, that we wouldn't really talk about, are very real and they're very horrible. And if you're not comfortable with it, that's totally cool. Don't watch this.
Yeah.
Don't watch it.
Works for me.
Yeah. All right. Oh, buddy.
You dick.
My good old buddy, my gobbler over here, Brandon.
I'm the gobbler now.
Yeah, man. What have you been watching, dude?
Not a whole hell of a lot. I'll be straight with you, man. I did pick up.
Got to take a drink after all that.
Go for it. I'm sitting over here with a nice little boozy tea that Cat mixed me up, and I got to tell you, it's working. But yeah, I definitely caught the new MHA. Definitely caught. I was kind of bummed out because I watched that and I was like, he didn't even mention that he's smoking American spirits, which is what he does in the dub. In the dub, twice at the beginning, he's like, start my day with a pack of natural American spirits. And I'm like, you fucking
You know what? They might not be able to do it here.
They might not be able to, yeah.
Because you can't even, you can't show tobacco commercials.
Sure.
You can't do anything to make it appealing to children.
Of course not.
So and you can in Japan, so they might just have to remove that due to the law.
But, he does mention, like, a smoke, but he doesn't say what kind. But, yeah, it's like fucking Joe Camel over there, man. No, but, yeah, I watched that. Beyond that, honestly, I did not catch a whole lot. It has been a very difficult week for me because it's hard for me.
Well, you did catch that Fooly Cooly, but we're not talking about it.
Yeah, it's hard for me to pull myself away from that new goddamn Assassin's Creed. But...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. They was like, it's more like an RPG. And I was like, well, I like RPGs. You can play as a boy character, girl character. Well, I like picking my character. You can, like, romance and kiss people. I like kissing people. So, like, that was my whole fucking week. But what I did catch is a couple more episodes of the show I told you about last week, I believe, Magical Girl Ore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Is it good, dude?
I'm only 3 in.
So the first episode...
I really do love it.
The first episode, you said that it could go one way or another, and I'm guessing it went the good way.
It's going pretty good. And as with pretty much any show that involves a character transforming somehow into a different gender, shit's gonna get a little bit weird.
Sure.
And it does. But
that makes it funnier.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it right now. I will give you this little bit is that during the second episode, pink-haired girl who is transformed into this big buff pink-haired dude, still wearing the frilly skirt and dress and looking all cutesy poots.
Why wouldn't you?
Of course. Oh my God. Okay, I'm not even gonna tell you the thing I told you earlier because like I feel like I want people to watch this, so I'm not gonna spoil nothing. But I will give you this. That one starts with this magical girl fighting this group of demons, and I didn't even tell you what the demons look like. They literally appear to be super buff teddy bears. And this magical girl is like trying to figure out how she's gonna fight them. And the helper guy, who again appears to be a straight up yakuza, says, "Take your earrings and throw them at him." And she's like, "Oh, this must be like a magic weapon." And she hucks them, and they fly over and just bounce off these guys. And just as they're like floating, like falling down, just these regular ass earrings. She's like, "What are they, like magic? Are they gonna do some kind of holy light or?" And then they just straight up explode. They're fucking grenades. And she's like, "Oh my God, they're yak weapons." It's fucking great. And then she's like, "Don't you have anything else?" And the Yakuza guy's like, "I got a magic pistol. Never runs out of ammo." What are you talking about? And finally he like goes through his trunk, blah, blah, blah. All right, here. It's like, it's what appears to be some kind of staff. It's wrapped in this like brown, like paper, like, you know, like you would hide a gun in. She makes a point of saying, unwraps it. It's a badass staff with like little wings and a heart on top. And she's like, "All right, so how does this work? Is it like shoot love rays or something?" And he's like, No, you just hit him. And so she ends up bludgeoning these demons. And, like, it just cuts to, it blurs out all the actual, like, demons who are laying there dead, apparently. You do see her holding the staff, which is now just covered in blood. It's pretty fucking great. But it's just played so much for laughs. It's really great. I'm really enjoying it. I'm 3 episodes in. Shit is going down.
Yeah, I definitely do need to check it out.
I'm having a lot of fun with it, man.
I like.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think you should. I think more people should. And that's pretty much it, man. I haven't really had a whole lot of time for else. I do have a few things in the watch list that I'm hoping I'll be able to tear myself away from freaking Assassin's Creed, flying around Greece.
I promise you, man, that 20 minutes spent watching that anime I recommended.
I'm definitely going to check that one out. It's on the watch list already. But that's what we've been watching. It went a little long. Tell us what you've been watching. Send us some emails and questions and whatnot. We'll have all the plugs at the end. But, of course, thegoodbuddiesanimepod@gmail.com.
And normally it doesn't if you're listening for the first time.
First of all, why'd you pick this one? This isn't even like the beginning of the series.
I don't know. Maybe you just stopped in.
Maybe you just really like these 2 episodes that are in the title of this. Sorry, it's like 20 minutes in. And we're just not
normally that goes a lot faster, But anyway, I definitely did want to talk about
I think it was worth it. There was good talk there. Yeah. But I do think we need to get into what we're here to talk about, which is episodes 3 and 4 of Fooly Cooly Alternative.
Good set of episodes. We'll start with episode 3, of course,
which is
Freestyle Collection. Is it collection? Yeah, it's collection. And to make sure it wasn't collective. Freestyle Collection. And that's because Haruko freestyles in this episode.
And also, it sounds like a clothing line. It's a collection. Yeah.
Maybe perfume.
Maybe. Anyway, let's get into the shit. This one starts with Haruko in the mall parking lot, that weird mall that we've seen. Like, it still has all those tarps and, like, stuff around it. Like, you don't know what's going on. They're, like, building it or it's under construction. Makes a call with one of several dogs that are around her. Not unlike in the first series, she talked through Naota's cat to make a phone call to somebody. She tries that here, but can't get a good signal or whatever. Ends up getting the voicemail, and she's kind of like pissed off, and she's like,
dogs start barking, man. I feel her pain all too well.
Yeah, you would.
I feel her freaking pain all too well.
There he goes, right now.
There he goes, right?
He just started. He knows.
Like he fucking knows. Clockwork, dude.
That dog knows, bro. But she's kind of annoyed. She says, we don't have much time left. And we see a construction site. It's raining. It's evening, maybe very early morning. And Mosan is waving traffic by and also falling asleep on her feet.
And also doing a little dance kind of too.
Does a little bit of Tai Chi. Does a little Tai Chi.
Yeah.
And then like ends up falling asleep on her feet, doing some Tai Chi, passes out, just rolls away and like stops. Another worker sends her home. She's like, yes, sir. And like she bails. Meanwhile, we then see Kana walking to school. Again, it's raining, walking down the street with her umbrella. A truck passes by, and she, like, uses her umbrella to, like, block the water that splashes. She's like, hey, didn't get me. And then another one immediately drives by and does splash her, because, haha, you weren't watching. But gets to school. She drives off in class using, who was it? Pets. Pets gives her a handkerchief. Real old school stuff. Meanwhile, Ida and Sasuke are over there just being weird. Ida's got his shirt off, and he's like, come on, bro, take it off. It's like, what is happening over here? Mosan shows up. Apparently her bag crapped out on her, she says. It's like broken or something. Dumps out a huge pile of snacks, and Kana notices also a sketchbook. You can kind of see a little picture of like what looks like maybe a model or a geisha or something wearing something. I don't know. Later, Tita.
She's good at drawing. They noticed that.
Yeah, she's good at drawing. They talked about that earlier. Later, the teacher is getting on Kana, Hijiri, and Pets for not handing in their college planning sheets. However, Kana notices, wait, Mosan, he didn't mention you. She's already tainted hers in. My girl has a plan. And later on the stairs, she shows him that sketchbook. She's designing clothes. She's even entered a clothes designing competition and has made it past the first cut. Kana is kind of like, well, wait, why didn't you tell us? This is great. And she says, it's sort of a pipe dream. And she says, but we're supposed to share our dreams. We'll support you. And the other 2 girls kind of like look like, like, what? I mean, support her. Yeah, I mean, we'll go to the show or whatever. And like they kind of look like they're like, I don't know. I think Pets even rolls her eyes. And Mosan, as she's sitting there, just goes, oh, right. Cut to Soba Shop. Prime Minister is on the TV again, talking about this rocket base that's been being, that's got activity going on in the Bay. There's rumors that it's an escape route for wealthy officials and citizens and whatnot. It's completely false. Absolutely not. Why would we do that? You're being ridiculous. It's a great rocket. It's the biggest rocket. All right. Mr. Moon, however, is eating his noodles, and as he's watching this, he says, lying comes as naturally to her as breathing. Like, he knows. He knows something's up. His name actually isn't Mr. Moon. That's just what Homegirl called him one time. We haven't gotten his real name. He has a real name. If you look at the credits, I don't remember what it was. Something. It was a name. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep calling him Mr. Moon. Kana, Hijiri, and Pets, however, are actually in the soba shop eating some soba, and they're laughing at the shopkeep's story about how he met the god of soba, and he had noodles for dreads. It was really great. But they're all just kind of laughing at him. One of them says, that's why you quit DJing? And I think Pets is the one who says, yeah, too much ganja. Pretty good. But yeah, Kana, however, as she's sitting there eating, she admits she kind of wishes a higher power would come along. I need some guidance. And the other two kind of like, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt you. And she's like, hey, no fair. Like, she says, Hydra, you could model. She says, yeah, but I don't want to. Everyone just expects it of me. And Pets apparently has college plans, but, doesn't mention them or anything, being a little private there. Meanwhile, we see Mosan. They talk about how Mosan is apparently the only one who has an actual drive. She has a goal. She has a plan. Despite that previous episode where Hijiri was trying to be so mature and everything, Mosan apparently is the most mature, even though she's a bit goofy. One of them, Hijiri actually tells the story about, like, with that 8th grade festival, Mosan, nobody wanted to work on this festival in 8th grade. Nobody wanted to do anything. Mosan stayed up all night making decorations, running stuff. No one else helped. She's a machine, she says. At school, they find Mosan double fisting right balls with a dead look in her eyes. She's a machine. And she's just, like, apparently she has not been getting much rest. She's just, like, forcing food into her because baby got to eat. Pets watching her actually says she's eating her fingers. Kana tries to calm her down. Hey, why don't you take a break and give your stomach one too? At which point, Mosan freezes. And then they're in the doctor's office.
Yeah.
This is a fun scene.
Yeah, it's great.
They're all behind a screen, like one of those privacy screens. You can't see what's going on. The doctor is dun dun dun.
It's Haruko.
She says, all right, let's check this out. Remove your clothes.
They tell her that the doctor thing really fits her.
Yeah.
She's a hot doctor.
Oh, yeah, she's a super hot doc. She was a hot nurse in the previous series, in the first one, so why the hell not?
I loved it.
She did the hot nurse thing in fucking, what do you call, Progressive, too.
Yeah. They only really, mentioned it. That, they flat out said that she makes a hot doctor.
Yeah, dude. But she says, all right, remove your clothes. And they're like, right. And they, strip Mosan so she can, inspect her or whatever. She says, no, I meant you three. What? And then you just see their clothes fly into the air. And Haruko just straight creeps on him. It's all behind a privacy screen. You don't see anything. But she's like, you, my dear, have a nice pair of knackers. Talking to Hijiri.
Yeah, and she says knackers, dude.
Knackers or knockers, something like that. And then she says to Pets, and your waist is so tiny. But then she gets all up on Kana and says, but I really like what's going on up here. And she's pointing at her head.
She's like, that's all you like about me?
That's my, what is she? Yeah, she says
my best
something
feature
like,
or something like that.
Yeah, my best feature. You really think that's my best feature? Mosan,
nice
however,
knackers.
has this quick, this quick pang, like she's hurting, and then Haruko goes to work, scalpel, chainsaw, and that electric shock thingy, and just starts going nuts. Mosan, as she's laying there, they back up for a second, and she starts reaching for the light, runs off a list of fancy foods from expensive restaurants, and she goes, I can't eat another bite, and passes out. At which point Haruko standing over here, the girls are like, what's wrong with her? She goes, she's overworked is all, and overeating. Then we end up at Mosan's house. Somehow they managed to get her home, and Mom is talking to Kana, saying that Mosan's working too hard, she's not sleeping enough. Mosan's siblings try to cheer her up with drawings of food. The whole family's good at drawing. That food looked good.
Yeah.
But
they had some buffalo wings.
Yeah, dude.
I don't remember what else there was.
It was like some kind of noodles or something. I don't remember. It looked tasty. But the girls later on, they're talking to each other, I think at the park, and they're wondering why Mosan never told him how hard she's been working. Kana wants to help the girls, and so what they end up doing, the girls and Haruko all end up at the construction site, and they're all working. Haruko's there for some reason. They actually say, "What's Haruko doing here?" And she's like, "I told you this was part of my job, didn't I?" No, you didn't. You just show up places because that's what you do. You're Haruko. That's how you work. It's fine. I don't care. But yeah, they're like working. Haruko's mostly just fucking with them while they're working, but they are working, and how they all end up tired. And Kana says, "Yeah, but it feels good, especially since it's for a friend." And then she actually makes a quick reference here. She says, "Come on, let's get back to it. Swing that bat."
Yep.
Gotta have them. There's like one in every episode so far. They throw in one. Mosan shows up. She's pissed. She tells Kana to butt out. This is my dream, and it only counts if I do it on my own. She actually stops her. She says, who did someone ask you to do this? No one did, huh? Let me guess. No one did, right? She's like all up in her face, and she hates it. She hates that. She feels like she's being pitied or something.
Do you ever get that feeling, man? Does that ever happen to you?
Not really. Help me out, bro. I need help. Shit.
See, I kind of like this episode. I really could feel like, I guess both perspectives, because I've tried to, I've helped people. I like to help people, but I also know how it feels when people just, like you're trying to do your own thing and people just start bombarding you with suggestions and what you should and shouldn't do. And God, that is fucking annoying.
No, I get that.
Didn't ask.
But like this one, it's like, oh, you're just doing, like, helping me with my job. I think I would be fine with this one, but like I could definitely see situations where
because I know there's tons of people, and there are plenty of people out there that have tried to give me advice and stuff.
Sure.
That if I were to take that advice, or maybe it's an idea I already
it's just gonna
had,
fuck it up way worse.
Well, no, not necessarily. Like, I could have the idea already of something maybe I need to do, but now if I do it, it's going to be like them saying, "Yeah, I suggested that." Mm-hmm. That's on. They're taking it for them whenever it was my hard work. So I get it.
You just wouldn't do it even if it seemed like a good idea because you don't want the backlash.
Sometimes I would. I would still do it if I thought it was going to better. If it were something for this podcast and somebody was like, you really should get better microphones or something.
It's like, yeah, we already thought of them. We talked about it.
Yeah,
it's on the microphone. It's on the podcast.
Like, you should get those Shure SM7Bs. Those will really help out the podcast.
Are they very expensive?
Yes, they are. And I do want those microphones. And, that would still give them, once, if I get those microphones.
We're really parting the curtain here, bud.
Yeah, somebody could really be like, well, yeah, I suggested that they do that, so.
I see you took my advice.
Yeah. And it would piss me off. That would piss me off.
Yeah, I could see that.
But
anyway.
Yeah, I'm just trying to dive into that. I'm doing what we're supposed to do.
No, I got you, dude. It makes sense. I get you. I feel you, bro.
But on Kana's end, I've seen people down and out before.
Oh yeah, for sure. You just want to help a friend out, but sometimes they don't want to.
Some people think that they're just doing it for them, and that comes up here in a second.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Maybe that is what Kana's doing. But yeah, now go on.
Okay.
You have my permission to go on,
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. They go to the break. They come back, and Kana and the girls are at the park, and they're talking, and Kana says, she's so stubborn. And then someone, I think Hijiri, says, yeah, but maybe we should have asked permission. And Pets actually says, it's her dream. She should have a say in it. Like, it makes a lot of sense, I mean, I totally see where they're coming from. Like you said, both sides. It does make sense. But what they end up doing is Kana, we then see her just walking along. This is a really good scene because you actually see what's been going on a little bit. She's walking down this road like, it's just fields and hills and countryside on either side of her. And there's just pins everywhere sticking out of the ground. Those massive pins like the one that fell on them in episode 1. And one is actually right in the middle of this road, this path that she's walking on, and she's kind of absent-mindedly just starts kicking at it, like, meh. And then she gets another head pulse, and then a weird TV thing sprouts out of her head and lands and starts bouncing. This weird screen, a TV screen with an MM, Medical Mechanica symbol on it, and it's got this weird curly tails just kind of springing there in front of her, and it clicks on, ping, leave her alone. It says, whoa. But yeah, that happens, and then Haruko swoops in with a fucking like still wearing the like construction site outfit, but with like a cape on and holding two of those big like show you which way to go sticks, you know, the glow stick things with the handles. She flies at him holding one in each hand, cross-armed, and says, "May the force be," and then just kills it. Doesn't even finish it because copyright. But yeah, she takes it out. And then as she's sitting there looking at it, she says, "Wow, no self-control, huh? You just keep spitting out loser after loser of medical mechanical robots." And she says, "Sorry, I'm useless." She says, and she goes into this weird, like, accent here for some reason. I don't know why. She's like, "Well, blah, blah, blah," and just starts talking like that. And she says, "May as well stay home and become a hikikomori," which I did look that up. It's like a shut-in, basically. Then as she's talking, as that's happening, it goes back to Kana, and Kana's like, "Mosan has this amazing dream, and I have nothing." It's like, okay, well, so you are kind of doing the vicarious living thing, huh? Like, you get it a little bit. But then the robot all of a sudden starts ringing, like it's got a dial tone or something, and freaking Haruko just grabs it. "Hello, moshi moshi," and then it just goes to a dial-up noise, like that thing. She goes, "Useless," and just kicks it. Who even uses dial-up anymore? And then, no, I did not write down the lyrics. Haruko goes in to her freestyle.
I love her freestyle, dude.
It's really great. My favorite part of it, she's basically doing like a no dreams, help your friends, who really gains from this, blah, 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 that kind of thing. After like the first verse, Kana, as she's standing there in front of her, just goes, "Why are you rapping?" Just really great.
I like in the rap too. She'll go through a line and she'll finish off with "Nya."
Yeah,
it's very Haruko.
Yeah. She does the so in the subtitles they actually put it as her saying "girl." I don't think that's her saying "girl." She definitely has a "g," like she does that, but she's like bloody bloody blood transmission "g," like that. Yeah. It's really weird. But yeah, it's straight up Haruko for sure. But yeah, she goes on all about this, like, and just raps in her face, and then she stops, and Kana just has been like so down this whole time. She just and starts laughing. It's really great. Managed to cheer her up if nothing else. So then we cut to Masan's house. Masan is sewing, and she's like, and like gets mad about this thing. She messed up something, or a stitch was bad, and she throws it in the garbage and grabs some more. Then she gets a text message. Her phone buzzes. She grabs the phone, looks out the window to see Kana, who's waving at her, like trying to talk to her. So we cut to them like outside, and Kana brought her a soda, and she says, "Sorry, it's not Dr. Pepper." And
it's a Diet Coke.
It's a Diet Coke. And Mosan's like, "What are you trying to say? Give me a diet." But Kana apologizes, says that she's sorry for butting in and all that. And Mosan's like, "Yeah, it's fine." And then she goes, "But I'm not going to stop." "What?" She says, "Listen, I want to help you. I just want to help you. You need help. You're stressed out. You're not getting enough sleep. This is not healthy. Let me help you. Designers have assistants, right? So I'll be your practice assistant." And like Mosan is still annoyed, but she thinks it over, and she says, "You can help with the sewing." Yeah, like she ends up accepting eventually.
She needs help holding the fabric up.
Exactly.
It keeps getting tangled. And at that point too, you can tell that Kana really is trying to be a friend.
Yeah. It's like for sure. But the next bit, we see Kana the next morning leaving her house with a sewing kit. Dad's paper, which always has a bit of news, says new model rocket found by civilian. Too big for a drone. Too big to be a drone. And then as she's leaving, her mom actually says something to the effect of, "Oh, she's helping a friend with some sewing or something. Too bad she's all thumbs like her dad." I'm like, that's kind of cute. Anyway, we get a quick montage here. We see a calendar that has 2 dates marked. One appears to be a Wednesday. Dress needs to be done by them. Contest is the following Saturday. This montage goes on. It's weeks of work, designing, sewing, running by the river for some reason. She's like, Mosan's running while Kana's behind her on a bike going, "Go, go, go." Like, it's like a real, like what was that Punch-Out thing where they're running by the river?
Or Rocky.
Great. Yeah. I like Punch-Out. It's more fun for me.
That's what Punch-Out is.
I know, but it's more fun for me.
Okay.
You want fun about
Little Mac and
and
Doc.
Doc.
Yeah, Doc.
It's great. That one, yeah, it's good times. Anyway.
Can't wait for that new Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You got to get you that Switch, buddy.
I'm gonna fucking destroy you.
You hope.
I hope nothing.
But I know that I'm gonna be the best, dude. I'm gonna be the full Randy, man.
Oh, you talking a lot of shit right now, bro. We're gonna have to settle this. Anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be a live stream. Get ready for it, good buddies.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's make it happen. But anyway, the dress is completed not by Wednesday. They actually mark right on through the Wednesday. Dress ends up completed the day before the contest on Friday. At the contest, the DJs are spinning, the models are walking, and the judges are judging. Mosan shakes in her chair. She's terrified. She is wearing a very nice outfit, but she's terrified. It's like a little purple number, sleeveless, dress all the way down with these real nice little frills around the neck. Oh, she looks great.
She got a big poopy bun.
Yeah, she's got her bun up. She's got her hair did. Mama. But yeah, they're at the thing. She's freaked out and shaking. They're getting ready to announce the winner, and the MC, the master of ceremonies, is like, and the winner is number 28, Hana Tonabayashi. And she's like, oh. And Kana like tries to reassure Mosan. The other girls are like kind of standing like, oh man. And she says, yeah, it's okay. I mean, fate was just against us this time. And Kana is trying to reassure her. Mosan is pretty fucking fine with it.
Yeah.
She's like a little bummed, obviously, but she looks up and she's like, I had a lot of fun.
She took her L with grace.
Yeah, and she says, it's all thanks to you guys. It's
something
really
that
great.
Brandon does not do in Smash Brothers.
You're a fucking liar, and I'll destroy you. I don't have to take my L's with grace because I don't take L's, bitch. Anyway. Sorry you had to hear that.
We need to get a good magic buddy up on the phone.
I'll fuck him up too, man.
Magic good
boy ain't real. Running around with the Luigi like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're gonna start that Smash Brothers podcast.
I'll do it. Can we be the Smash Brothers?
Yeah.
Can we be the Smash Buddies? Anyway. But yeah, the MC calls for the winning design to be modeled, and no one walks out. The music stops. And then backstage, we see kind of a behind-the-scenes thing. You don't see who's talking or anything, but this person says, I can't wear something so broad. And then someone else says, but you have to. It's the winning design. Wait, someone stop her. That's the wrong dress. And then the camera goes out. The lights are off. You see one spotlight come up on this, whoever this is standing at the end of the runway. And you see a finger snap. Hit it, DJ. Soba Man is on the 1 and 2s. Former DJ, and he spins up a track, and it's fucking kicking. The lights come on, and dun dun dun, Haruko walks out in Mosan's dress, and everybody's like, "What the hell? What's Haruko doing there?" And Mosan's just like, "Kick ass!" Like, so good. That's the fucking line of the episode. Kick ass. But the crowd is going nuts. Haruko gets to the end. She's looking great. She's got her hair down. She looks crazy as hell.
Can we talk about the dress for a second?
The dress is fucking great.
What is going on in that dress? It reminds me of organs.
I think it's supposed to be like a big kanji. It's like it's a red dress. It's like big and poofy on the bottom. It's shoulders out on the top, and it's got what appears to be like a big tube of a pillow going like up and then back down and like making a shape on it.
Thing right over here. That's why I was like, is this like a?
It does a little bit, yeah.
Is this kidneys and intestines? What am I looking at?
Maybe that was it, because earlier during that montage, you do see them like they're putting dresses like on like like a what's it called, like a dressmaker's dummy, a maiden form, whatever that's called, and they're like putting it on there, and then. A dress form, I guess. And then you also see them in school because they're doing it constantly, and they do put it on the anatomy dummy.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like some big kanji that I don't recognize.
I think it's up for interpretation. I don't know.
Whatever it was, it looked fucking cool, and Haruko looked cool in it. And like she stops and she says, "Hey, who made this?" And she calls Mosan up, cheers and applause, but one of the judges yells, "Hey, you're not a real model!" And she's like, they actually know. And then security, a bunch of fucking security dudes. This is where the episode goes off the rails, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? But a bunch of security dudes run in, and Haruko just takes him out. She's like, Haruko kick, and does like a Liu Kang flying kick through one of them. Haruko punch, and like beats the shit out of this guy. She takes out all these security dudes. Demolishes half the stage, like the lights and everything are falling. It's absolute bedlam. And then she bails out with Soba Guy. And after all that, everyone's standing there like, holy shit. And the announcer guy's just standing there with Mosan, and she's like, well, how do you feel after all this? And she goes, I'm disappointed at the results, but I'm going to use this to become the world's top model. And everybody's like, what? And they all just start cheering. It's great. They're all having fun. And Hijiri, I think, has the last little line here. She says, I told you, Mosan is double awesome. It's really cute.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one.
I thought it was a good episode. It was fun.
It was a fun one. But now we're on to might be my favorite episode so far of the bunch. Episode 4.
I don't know.
I like it a lot. But
the bunch that we've talked about or the bunch that you've seen?
For sure the bunch we've talked about.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're on to episode 4.
Pit-a-pat.
Pit-a-pat. This one was very fun.
Pit-a-pat.
Pit-a-pat, knick-knack, paddywhack, paddywhack.
Pop a cap in your ass. That's my rap, dude. It's just flowing, freestyle.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Freestyle collection, check it out by Roger.
It's straight fire.
Mm-hmm.
Coming next June.
We got some good synths.
My album's dropping
real soon. They're not great,
soon.
but they're good.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, we see that bass, Mr. Moon's bass. He's looking at on the series of TVs up there. He's got a bunch of maps that are showing all these pins, the lines connecting them. Medical Mechanica plants are apparently within those lines. Haruko just pops up out of nowhere behind him. She says, so what do you plan to do? And he says, nothing. And he also suggests that she stays out of it as well. Medical Mechanica won't stay silent much longer, he says. And she just slams her hand on his keyboard and a bunch of photos pop up. Photos of Kana and Sasaki. She says, well, I'm just going to keep doing things my way. And she leaves. So then we see Kana. She's walking, reading over some literature, presumably for class, something about something or other in the fields with her hair finely coiffed. And she stops. What does finely coiffed mean? I mean, you could Google it, girl. You got a cell phone. But as she's walking, she stops, and she hears Sasaki calling from behind her. It's a call and response thing, training group. Fight on, fight on. They're going and going. She turns right as he passes and spots him on his bike leading the basketball team in a little training sesh. And on the back of his bike, hugged all up on him, is dun-dun-dun Haruko. And she's real close. And Kana seems a little miffed. In class, Haruko is fawning over Sasa, she calls him. And she says, hey, help me read this. And yes, I turned on the subtitles for this one. And he says, what? Help me read this. This one says, really erecting. What about this? Well hung. What about this one? Trim the bush. It's good stuff. She has apparently become the temporary basketball coach. The girls are teasing Kana because they just know she's into this dude. Sasaki, with Haruko just snuggling all up on him, announces that 10 of the 13 players from the team that beat them have transferred schools, and as such, they're going to be playing in the next game instead. And everybody's like, what the fuck? Kana is sitting there at her desk just indignant. She is pretty pissed off because Haruko is just all up on this dude. At the game, the girls are watching from the balcony. Haruko is kind of lounging on the chairs while Sasaki is rooting on the team. Mosan is fanning herself. She says, oh, it's hot as balls in here. And she's like fanning herself with a handkerchief. And Pet says, oh, hey, that's really cute. Do you want to trade? She trades her handkerchiefs. Later, just after, the girls are poking fun at Kana again. Ida goes for a throw and is apparently distracted by Haruko, who's just cooing in Sasuke's ear again. And he throws the ball way too hard, bounces off the ceiling, slams right into Kana's face, which is pretty great. Just boom.
Yeah, balls to the face, man.
Balls right in the face.
Nothing to piss you off more.
Hey, man, more sex jokes. Halftime, the score is 69-19. Sasaki tries to rally the team. Haruko is footsying him, tickling his butt with her foot. And Ida is just freaking out. He's clearly jealous. Part of me's like, who's he jealous of? Because, like, he was trying to get dude's shirt off earlier.
Yeah, he sure was.
Kind of hot. Anyway. He's freaking out. He's jealous, clearly. He says, hey, quit your diddling and prep our sports drinks. And He hucks his water bottle at Sasuke, just slams him in the face too. Everybody's getting hit in the face. Dude falls out. It's pretty rough. We then see Sasuke. He grabs Ida, and he's like, what he says is, and I don't know exactly what this means. He says, "You know I'm not afraid to do it, but it's not up to me." And then Ida freaks out. He's just crying. He's just straight up crying this whole time. Ida is, and he says, "You're hurting me, quit." And he pushes him off, and he pushes him. Sasuke turns and tumbles and lands right on top of Dun 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 Haruko. And it's rough. Yeah, they land in a very compromising position, and she's like, "Ow, it hurts." And Ida's like, "My plan backfired." Haruko's inner thigh is apparently hurts like a little bruise.
She has the world's tiniest boo-boo on
it.
The
tiniest little boo-boo bruise. And she says, "Sasuke, help." And she holds up a bit of Liger Balm.
Liger Balm.
This is pretty good. I'd use that shit. You ever tried You ever used Tiger Balm?
No, I have not.
I've used it. It's got a really distinctive smell. It's like basically just pure menthol, I think.
Well,
but
apparently, Liger Balm is the best.
It's the best. I enjoy Tiger Balm. Tiger Balm helps.
What is it used for?
It's like muscle aches and stuff. It's like Icy Hot, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
Bengay?
menthol. Yeah, it's like Bengay. It's like a menthol rub solution stuff. You folks will also like kind of use it like that. What do you call the like Vapo Rub stuff? You like put a little in your nose when you can't.
Like Vicks.
Yeah. But it's mostly like for aches and pains and muscles and stuff.
When you're sick, man, don't sleep on some Vicks, okay?
Vicks will do it.
Yeah, man, you get it, you rub it under your nose and your mustache a little bit, then you just rub some of it in your nose.
Yeah, dude. That's what I used to, with the Tiger Balm, I would do that. They had these Tiger Balm patches that you would just put on whatever's hurting you. I used to, when I would get migraines, I would take like some headache meds and then like slap one on the back of my neck. It helped me out a little bit. But yeah, man. Anyway, she wants this Liger Balm, and it's like it's on her inner thigh, very near her crotch. Like she's wearing shorts. It is just below these shorty shorts, these little b-ball shorts, these very shorty shorts that she's wearing. And boy, oh boy, he does it. He does apply the Liger Balm, much to Kana and his own chagrin. The girls are poking fun at Kana again. Kana's sweating. She tries to ignore it. There's another head pulse. My head. And Haruko is watching for what's next. She's like, yeah. She's like really watching this.
Can I stop and tell a funny story real quick?
Please do.
Because it just jogged my memory.
Oh, no.
I don't know why I didn't catch it earlier.
Oh, no. This is going to be good.
So
it's not about me, is it?
No.
Thank God.
It's about our friend. We'll call this good buddy Le Turd.
Excuse me?
Yeah, Le Turd.
Right. Le Turd.
I doubt he listens to the podcast.
You're going to have to refresh me on that one later.
I mean, we called him Turtis all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, put that together. Well, so this was before I moved moved to Waco. So this is probably 2010, 2011. And we were out there at the house in the country, sitting on the porch. We're drinking. A couple of these girls came over. They were hanging out. They were drinking with us. Okay, so Le Turd is sitting there. Le Turd is a very, very awkward nerd.
Okay.
He's a very special kind of special.
This is going to be bad, folks.
He looks a little bit like a caveman. I can't really describe Le Turd to you.
He's got that the DNA. He's got the caveman DNA.
Yeah.
He's a real crow.
He's a goofy guy. Okay, so.
Oh no.
You ever played you remember like in school, like you would have close friends that are girls and you could play the Are You Nervous Yet game?
God.
Where you touch a little bit and you go, "How are you nervous yet? You nervous yet? You nervous yet?" Like up their leg or whatever.
Baby, I never get nervous.
Okay, so this girl starts playing the game with Turtis. I don't know if it's just a joke or what she's doing. Or maybe she's trying to do him a service.
Oh no.
And I will never forget this. I was definitely a bit intoxicated, but I will never, ever, ever forget this.
This is going to be bad.
So she's going higher and higher and higher. Are you nervous yet? And he's like playing it cool. He's like, no. No.
Oh no.
She gets to about right here. Like not quite to his crotch yet, but you know, like the little.
Real close.
Yeah. Close enough to the very, very, very inner thigh.
She's getting to the V.
The white meat of the thigh.
Oh no.
Of the inner thigh. And
the swimsuit area, if you will.
She pushes down there, and Turtis is at this point in a sweat. Trying to play it cool. And he just yells, dude, "I'm a virgin!" I don't know how much he had to drink.
You fucking monster.
But I'll never forget. I'm a virgin.
You're a monster. You're a monster.
Now, this is a guy, too.
This is your friend.
This is a guy, too, that he would, at least back in the day, he would let you run over his foot for a pack of smoke.
Jesus Christ.
And so this girl gets real close to the ween, dude, and then he shouts that he's a virgin. I couldn't believe it, dude.
Sir, this
I don't know
monstrous.
what possesses a person.
This is unconscionable.
Why couldn't he just say that he was uncomfortable? I'm not comfortable with this.
You're fucking evil. Oh my God.
Okay. I didn't do it. It's just a funny story that I will never forget. And yeah, I can never forget it. I don't know why it didn't come to mind faster whenever
This
is
Liger monstrous. All right.
I'm a virgin. No.
I'm glad we got that. I'm glad we got that.
I'm a virgin. I know some good buddies.
So what happened next? Did she grab him by the hand and said, "You ain't gonna be tonight"?
Oh no, dude! She was in tears. She was about to piss herself. She was laughing so hard.
That is the proper response.
We all wore.
God Almighty!
I'll never forget it.
This is monstrous.
Yep.
Oh God! All right. Well, I'm glad we got. So he was sweating real bad. Well, so's Connor right now. She's sweating. She tries to ignore it. Head pulse. Jesus, Roger. I got to get back into the show now.
I'm a virgin.
If that's not how we close this show,
that's definitely
I'm going to be so sad.
Dude.
I quit if it's not. All right.
Hell yeah, that's how we're closing this one out.
Anyway, Haruko's watching for what next, but Kana just screams. She yells, "I can't deal." She doesn't scream, "I'm a virgin." That would have also
now
worked.
I have funny turtle stories running through my mind.
Oh no. Okay. Good buddies. Make sure your next question you send us is about Turtis, and we'll get
Ask about the pocket knife.
Oh no.
It's so stupid, but it's
You'll
so
find
good.
some way to relate it to a later episode, I'm sure.
I'll hit up my brother. I'll hit him on the horn. I'm like, hey man, can you send me some good old turd stories just to jog my memory?
Anyway,
she screams. Pocket knife in particular.
Jesus, she screams, "I can't deal." She runs away, plowing through a bunch of other students as she does. Haruko then as she's laying there. Roger, we can't. This can't happen.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm holding it together. I'm taking a drink of water.
It's gonna be okay.
I'm holding it together, dude.
Oh, my boy. She kicks a Sasaki and she scoffs. She says, "I almost had it." The other team, however, is watching in annoyance. They're like, they're not even taking this seriously. And behind them, on the team, maybe a mascot of some sort, is what appears to be. I wrote down a cow person wearing shades.
No, I have a theory that this is a nose. He looks like a nose.
He does appear to be a nose. He does have like little cow ears and little tuft of hair on top.
Yeah.
And later in the episode, we do see the bottom of that head, and there appears to be two giant nostrils. So yes, it is a nose / cow.
It is my boy Nosy, man.
It's Nosy, from the Crystal Method music video. That's the name of the game. All right.
My boy Nosy, dude.
Oh, Jesus. Someone out there recognized that. Anyway, it's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, he's this, whatever it is, this cow person is just sitting there and like saying nothing. Cut to the soba shop. Mr. Moon is watching the PM talk about the malicious conspiracy theories surrounding these pins. They're an alien attack? Oh, these are ridiculous. They're conspiracy theories. Absolutely not. And he's dismissing them all. She's not having any of it. Kana, however, is fuming and really freaks when the PM starts talking about the importance of love and how love will save us. And she can't take it. She leaves early. She bails. As she does, the PM walks in. And she sits with Mr. Moon. She says, "Yeah, I know. I've heard I'm prettier in person than on TV." And he just goes, "I never said that." Just fucking... I love this dude.
Never said that.
I never said that. Holy shit, dude. No chill on him. She tells him, "Listen, you should be on surveillance instead of sitting around eating soba." She's apparently allergic to it. Talks about these marks on her arm, which is weird. He says, "Well, operations are no longer available due to staffing reductions." And she asks him, "When do you think that thing will move?" He says, 2 weeks at the earliest. I would bet it starts flattening in 4. Oh ho ho. She asks. She also, as she gets up and starts to leave, she asks about this alien Haru something. Word is, you two were pretty chummy. And he says, "That was a long time ago." and she leaves. And that line was when I was like, okay, is this guy fucking Naota? Is he?
No.
We find out immediately no.
Yeah.
Unless he had a real, like, just a crazy change in his life. But the whole time I was watching, I was like, is this guy Naota? He recognized Haruko. He says that was a long time ago when she asked about it. We find out, here's the flashback. She leaves, he flashes back. Haruko is in a tub. She's nude. Pipes and wires running out of this thing. Some kind of weird green water in it. Maybe like, what was it called in Dragon Ball Z? The chamber things that they floated in that healed them up or whatever. It looks like it's like one of those situations. I don't remember what it's
called. The pods.
Yeah, it's one of those situations. A younger Mr. Moon in a very nice suit. He's got hair. Dude looks cool. He's got shades on. Little chin beard. Damn, boy. He says, she asks him what's going on. He says, I'm just here to check your wound. She says, oh, that's all you want to look at? I'm all healed up, so don't you worry. Well, if that's the case, I'd better check you out. Drops his pants. The pants came off real quick. I mean, it really is just a scene out of a fuck. Oh, I don't have enough to pay for this pizza. I'm sure we could think some other way. Zip. It's like one of those. It really is just straight out of a cheap, cheesy porno. And he drops those fucking pants. She says, oh, it must be hard being an irrigation officer. That's immigrations officer. For those who don't mind their manners, need a little help from the state. She grabs him, dunks him into the water, pulls out a shampoo hat, puts it on him, and in a scene very reminiscent of Fooly Cooley, she reaches into his head, and he's like, hey, don't touch me there. Like exactly what Naota said before. Pulls out his bat, his weapon, a tiny little toy ray gun is what it appears to be.
It looks like one of the fighter planes with the shark mouth.
Yeah, and it's got a little trigger on it. And
it's kind of a cool gun. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And she looks at it and she's disappointed. She drops it. It floats in the water in front of him. She says, I knew you were no fun. And she leaves him there. She leaves him alone.
With his tiny gun.
And he's sitting alone in the soba shop now. He says, I just hope nobody gets hurt this time.
You don't got that big dick power. You got that little dick power.
Got that little dick energy. Hey, that's the thing. You ain't got no BDE, baby. Anyway.
I got it, man. I got that BDE, all right?
You say that all you want, bro. I don't need the energy. I got the dick. Zip. I hope that didn't fuck up the record. Nah, I barely even registered. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
We got too much foam in here. Kana and the girls are at the park. She's asking for boy advice. They don't have much. They don't have any. Mo-san has so many amazing lines here. She says, if you push him down, you can get on top and mount him. I love Mo-san. Sasuke rolls up on his bike. The three girls watch from a jungle gym they're hiding behind while Kana and Sasaki talk at the swings. And Mo-san, again, as they're watching, they're like, oh man, she's gonna do it. And Mo-san just goes, mount him, Kana.
Yeah, mount him, Kana.
So mount him. Good. Anyway, Kana asks him how he knew that she'd be there, and he says, well, I asked the guys, but they didn't know anything. Then I went by your house. They said you like to hang out there. And she goes, I wrote down, she goes full shoujo. She has extra wide eyes. Her hair lightens up. She the whole art style for her just changes, and she's got
it goes to like 1998.
Yeah, dude, and she's got like these little roses and flowers like floating behind her. She's like, oh, like she can't. Oh my god. Mo-san and Hijiri thinks he's a fucking creepo stalker because you went to her fucking house. What the fuck,
how'd
dude?
You figure out where she lived?
It's fucking weird. But one of them, I think it's Mo-san maybe, says, between love and madness lies obsession. Jesus, the girl has all the lines on this one. She asks, oh no, Mo-san and Hijiri said that. That was Pets that said that. Pets says, between love and madness lies obsession. Excuse me. Pets has some good lines too. She's cool. He asks if she's okay. She says, well, it's not as bad as that. And her voice changes too. She's like talking like she's like, such a little flower girl. She says, oh, well, it's not as bad as that time I got kicked in the face. And he's like, what? And then she looks over at the girls in the jungle gym. They're holding up a notepad that says, don't overshare, never on it. She goes, never mind. And he says, hey, I want to tell you something. And she looks, she said, Yeah, she says, he says, I want to tell you something. She looks back at the girls, and they're holding up a sign that says, "Here it comes." And he says, "There's nothing going on between Haruko and me." She goes, "Oh." And, like, she's back to normal at this point. And then she's like, okay. And then she stops. She goes, "Wait, what do I do now?" And she looks back over the girls. The notepad says, "Confess! You can do it!" She goes, "No way, no way, no way!" And then she looks back. "Do it!" is all it says. It just says "fight" on it or something like that. And then she's like, as she's sitting there like freaking out, boom, head pulse. She's like, and her head starts hurting. The sign the girls are holding, it says "no muku muku," whatever that means. I don't know. I tried to Google it. All I could find is in Japanese. It translates to sway. So maybe, like, don't freak out. But she stands up quickly, headbutts him as she does, and she runs away, and she just bails. And the dude gets back up. He's like, "Huh? Komoto?" And he looks. The three girls are now standing there where he can see them, holding up a sign that says, "Nice job." And they're all just giving him thumbs up. At home, Kana's crying upstairs. Mom and Dad are downstairs, eating, and Dad's still reading the paper. This one says, "Are those mysterious pins from aliens?" Bunta knocks on the door and just opens up, and she's like, "What's going on?" Or I don't even think he knocks. He just opens the door, and she's like, "Didn't you learn how to knock?" And he's on his phone, just like tapping away at something. And he says, "Hey, Mom wants you to come to dinner." And she goes, "I'm not hungry." And he's like, "What, are you on a diet?" And she goes, "Oh, I meant to ask, how's your girlfriend?" And he goes, "Great, she's at the beach. It's nighttime." And Kana's like, "Huh?" And he goes, "Yeah, check it out," and shows his phone. It's an app. There's like a girl in a bikini on it. It's like one of those like, little fake date apps. And it says, "Bunta, let's go swimming." Fucking great. Kana pulls what I can only describe as an Asobi face, because she just looks at him like, and like just has this just old man like scowl on her face looking at him. At school, we're back at school. Hijiri is sitting there like playing with her pen or something, and Pets tells her, "Oh, that's a cool pen. You want to trade?" And she like trades a brush pen that she has with her.
Yeah, most songs like interesting trade.
Interesting trade. Yeah, it's really great. Haruko, meanwhile, is whining about pencil lead, we find out. Kana is just sitting there annoyed watching this. But she says, "No, I want something thicker, one that's thick and hard." And freaking Sasaki's just like, 0.5 thickness should be hard enough. Just whining about pencil lead. It's fucking great. But then on the stairs, Kana is overwhelmed. She's got boy problems. She just got some test back, bad grades. She flops into Pets' lap, and Hijiri and Mosan wonder, why Sasaki? He's kind of soft, right? And Pet says, doesn't he have paroxysmal kesogenetic choreoathetosis? Paroxysmal kesinogenic choreoathetosis. Yeah, it's one of those. It's very long. If you actually break down those words, I was like, oh, that sounds like it'd be one of these. And I looked it up. I was like, yeah, that's what it was. It's basically a thing where, like, it's a neurological thing where, like, certain movements, or if you move too fast, certain things around you, if you move too quick or whatever, they can make you, like, have a spasm or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, if you ever seen, what the hell is that movie? Fucking Crank 2 High Voltage, where the guy had full body Tourette's. Basically. No. Never seen that one? These movies are fucking rad. They're absolutely balls out crazy. They're very fooly-cooly in how crazy they get. Anyway. Yeah, that's happening. He's got some kind of thing. And they talk about how he actually used to play ball, but he has this rare nerve condition and he can't exercise now. Kana says that she used to be really sickly too, and that's why she felt for him. She, could relate to the guy. Sure. Haruko shows up and asks if they've seen Sasa, and they're like, no, check the cafeteria. And she starts to leave, and Kana stops her. Hey, what do you want? Well, what do I want doesn't concern you. And boom, just laser beam sparks fly out of both of them and just intersect. It's like some Dragon Ball Z shit, red and blue. They're going at it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The sparks are flying. It's fucking great. And Kana looks at her with these fucking sparks flying. She says, well, why doesn't it concern me? And Haruko, like, the girls are, like, behind Kana, like, oh, God, what's happening? Like, they're freaking out. Jesus, those sparks, what's going on? And Haruko says, wow, what's with that look? Your face looks really ugly. And Kana says, there's nothing wrong with my face. And it cuts back to them like, oh God, it's getting really intense. Ah! Like the girls are really freaking out. And she says, oh, but there's something wrong with you. Let me guess, is your heart broken? You're too immature for feelings or relationships. And then it cuts, the sparks are gone, and she just leaves. And it was pretty intense. The girls are proud of Kana for not going any further. She says something like, oh, whoever throws the first blow, that, like, it was very mature of you to, like, not flip out on her. Completely anyway. She didn't, like, actually attack her. But yeah, shit was rough. But Kana, however, she knows what she has to do. And then we see Sasaki. He's in the gym, shooting bricks by himself. Can't make a goal. Little trash boy. Kana shows up. And they end up, they go to a side room and they talk. And he's talking about, like, some goofy ass. He's doing, like, the nerd thing where he's talking about some shit he likes. And she's like, what? And he's like, Don Don Dunk. It was in Bon Bon Comics. And she goes, I don't know what a Don Don or a Bon Bon is. And, like, this is one scene in particular that the voice acting really stuck out to me. Because she legit just sounds like a little kid. Like, she sounds like a teenage girl in this scene. It's very good. But yeah, they're talking or whatever, and Sasaki laughs, and then he goes, ugh, and he kind of cringes for a second. She goes, hey, are you all right? And he goes, yeah, when I move too quickly or when my heart beats fast, I get it. She goes, oh, when your heart beats, and then there's this cute, really like cutesy piano music playing the whole time. It's like do 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 do. It's like really chill, with like a like the little, the little hi-hat going with this chill ass do 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 do. And he says, hey, she says, hey, I was wondering if you music cuts, a basketball flies through the window behind Kana, slams her in the fucking head. She flops down on top of him, boobs right in his face. There is a very brief panty shot there. Yeah, they go for it. She is on top of him. The music comes back, this time with a little drum and bass. It's really going, man.
Man, you really memorized that, dude.
I did, and I just that's what it sounded like to me. I thought it was great. I mean, I liked the music in this. It was pretty cute. They also bring in Little Busters later, and I know you love that shit.
You know I do.
But anyway,
the next episode, there's another good song in there.
Oh yeah, dude.
A hollaback song,
Are you a hollaback girl?
The shit is bananas.
All right, but she's on top of him. She's got the head glow going. Haruko and the girls are watching from the window, and Haruko says, "Go on, get it out of her." And then one of them, I think Hijiri says, "Smooch him," and then I think it's Petsu's kiss, and then Mosan is like, "It's happening," and then you hear this. Bring! And it's like, it sounds like a halftime horn at a ball game or something. And fucking Nose Cowface is there too. Nosy the Cowface is there
like
too.
He was right behind him.
Yeah, he's like behind them, and they're like, huh? And they actually say, like, what they say is gee, like something like that. It's like, what in the fuck? And then we cut back to Kana and Sasaki. He closes his eyes and his lips are puckered a little bit. She closes her eyes and she starts leaning down. But then she stops and he goes, wait. And he goes, is something wrong? She goes, I'm not feeling it now. That spark. Boom! Wall explodes, smoke everywhere. All of them, all the girls and you just see them like bounce out of this room they were in as this like this wreckage is pouring out of it. Notably, Mosan just like bounces like on her butt as she's getting out. She's
like my butt.
Yeah, she does. She goes, my butt hurts. My butt hurts. My butt hurts. It's fucking great. But yeah, Cowboy, Nosy the Cowboy. Let's call him Nosy the Cowboy. Let's split the diff. Nosy the Cowboy is holding Sasaki, tosses him into the air, looks up, eats him. Like giant, like head goes like giant, swallows in there, and they're like, "What the hell? He ate him!" And then I think one of them, I think it's Pet, says he made Sasaki sashimi, which is pretty great. It then transforms into a crazy robot bull thing. It's the Chicago Bull, and it's going nuts. It's huge. It's massive. It's got these giant horns. It looks fucking badass. And then behind it, Haruko is standing there with a ball. She throws off her jacket, and now all of a sudden she's wearing like a proper like uniform, like tight little top, shorty shorts, and she's got pigtails.
And the way they
she looks like fucking Lola Bunny. Like
the way they draw her too, it looks very sports. Animated sports. They nail it. They absolutely freaking nail it.
Oh yeah, the fucking like every time they change up Haruko's look in these, like in that last episode, they always make it good. It looks fucking great. But yeah, She's dribbling that ball hard.
And I love the bull has that big like army arm hyphen Y army pose.
Yeah, he's like guarding her. He's like, trying to take up as much space as he can.
It looks dope.
The girls are like, they merged, what's going on? And like it's going nuts. The bull guards her as she picks and moves. She's like ticking back and forth, like trying to break his defense. The girls are impressed. Mosan actually like takes out a notepad. She's like, I'm gonna take his stats, and she like starts taking notes and shit. One of them says, man, Sasaki's really good, and Kana's like, yeah, but being part robot helps. Haruko fades back like she's going for a 3-pointer, and they're like, she's doing it, the ultimate game-winning 3-pointer, but then she jumps into the air. And they're like, she's flying? Like, she's going for a fucking dunk from half court, like Jordan style. But she jumps into the air. Space Jam, yes. She jumps into the air. She's, like, going over this thing's head. And as she's doing so, soaring over this bot, she dunks it square into this thing's head. It explodes, and it just goes, it's just boom, huge explosion. It's fucking crazy. And yes, I said I was going to do it.
Yeah, where's your dunk song at, buddy?
Got to shout out to Froggy Fresh. Wise bull cry. Because it just got dunked on. I ain't even lying. Man, it just got dunked on. All right. I had to.
I know his Christmas list.
I had to.
You heard that one?
Don't.
The Christmas list? You got to listen to it if you haven't.
I haven't heard that one. I'll check it out.
It's great.
Fucking Froggy Fresh is crazy ass. Anyway. Head explodes. It's fucking ridiculous. And as she stands there now, spinning the basketball on one finger, Haruko, in a nice little callback to episode 4 of the original Fooly Cooly, says, "It's all in how you dunk the ball," as opposed to swinging the bat.
Right.
I really like that. Sasuke lands in front of the girls, covered in this green goo, and then later,
it's boogers.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's definitely boogers.
Yeah, he is some kind of nose. Like when he transformed, the smoke the steam poured out of it, and like you could see like under him like what would be his chin, and it was clearly too huge.
It's my boy Nosy, man.
It's Nosy the cowboy. He's some kind of cow nose guy. He's got little cow ears. He's got a little hair tuft on top of him. I don't know, man. It was weird. It's fucking weird. He's some kind of nosy thing. I thought cow as soon as I saw him, and then when he turned into a bull, I was like, yeah.
I really don't know what it's a reference to.
I don't, but it's fucking great, and I loved it. That's all that matters to me. Anyway, but yeah, Sasuke meets up with Kana later at school, and she says she's trying to like talk to him, and he's like, "What's up?" And he's like blushing real hard, and she says, "I think that maybe I wasn't as ready as I thought." He's like, "What?" And then Little Buster starts playing. It's great. She runs off. She's like, "Gotta go." And like the girls are there watching, and they all run off together. Sasuke seems like he gets it. He blushes and smiles, and he's like, "Heh." And as they're walking, you see this scene with she and the girls. They're walking, they're talking, they're laughing, and she says, "Haruko was right. I wasn't ready for love." And I think that spark I felt, and you see them like all laugh at a joke again or something. It's really great. She says, "Was because I hope it will always be like this." That wouldn't be so bad, right?
Right.
And then, you get one more little scene. We see that mall with all those tarps surrounding it. This scaffolding with these tarps. You can't see what's behind them. And this siren sounds. Spotlights fly up around it. Smoke piles from beneath those tarps, blowing them away. No, that's not smoke. That's steam. It's a big-ass iron. It's a medical mechanica building. Yeah, we saw it coming, but holy shit, what a reveal.
Yeah.
It was fucking cool the way they did it. And that's it for episode 4. Next week, we will talk about episodes 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn, episode 5. But we'll see how episode 6 rolls out.
Earlier, you said there was something about pets in this episode. Not to give too much away, but I don't know if I think I just maybe missed you say it. Or...
So after watching episode 5, which we would talk about next week, I thought it was, and then rewatching episode 4, I thought it was interesting. I didn't catch it the first time. Mosan and Hijiri, she's trading stuff with him.
Okay.
She's like, what's that about? It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just wants something.
Right.
From her friends. Anyway.
Now it's even more sad.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, that's it for those ones. I really liked episode 4, mostly just because
it was tons of fun.
The way that one, to
and
me,
Little Busters.
Every one of these so far has had like a little reference to the original series in it, like, whether it's a line or something they do. This one felt like it was episode 4 from the original, but from a different perspective, and I really like that because that one was all baseball and swing the bat. It's about
Well, his Takun's brother plays ball.
Yeah, but like that whole episode was like about him finally stepping up and doing it, right? He's like taking the swing, doing it. Whereas this one was very much the opposite. It's about Kana realizing she's not ready to do that. So she doesn't. Right. And I really like the way they did that.
I do. It's an alternative, dude.
Yeah.
You might say.
Maybe an alternate view, you could call it. An alternative.
One might say.
You fucking dick. Anyway, that was it for that one. I really enjoyed these 2 episodes. I can't wait to see.
I've really liked the first episode. Tossed me a little bit. Mm-hmm. The second episode, the very end of it, got me on board, and these 2 just really, really hit in. And I can't say. Just I guess to hype up next week's episode. These episodes all felt, like they felt progressively better, and they were all good. The first one became a lot better after the end of the second one. The second one came better after I saw that ending there. Mm-hmm. The third and fourth were good on their own, but
5 fucked you up.
Yeah, and 5 is where it really starts. You get that moment where you're like, okay, for real now, this is Fooly Cooley.
Sure,
this is something that I can compare to the original.
I cannot goddamn wait for episode 6, and I can't wait for next week when we talk about 5 and 6. Dude.
Surely they won't blow it, right?
I hope not, but we'll fucking find out, bro.
Yeah, I like it a lot though. I'll definitely be watching it again and again and again. Probably Progressive too.
I really do want to rewatch Progressive.
I want to watch them all in a line.
Dude, you want to have a little movie day?
Yeah, man.
Let's fucking do that shit. We'll order some pizzas. Cool. Yeah, one of them 6 cheeses.
Yeah, just plow through all of them.
Just fuck it up.
We have some good buddies over.
Yeah, have a little viewing party. Why not? But yeah, man, we're gonna talk about, like we already said several times, 5 and 6 next week. 6 is not out yet.
Mm-hmm. It's out tomorrow.
Out tomorrow.
Well,
God,
if you're listening to this, it's out today.
Sure.
And then if you're watching it on YouTube, it was out yesterday.
So get on it, you fucking dick. Anyway, yeah, it's gonna be great. We're gonna talk about those next week. Quick question, bud. Do we have any?
We do.
We got some questions.
We got a question from our good buddy Clayton. And this is a good question. It's a thinker, and it's kind of a tricky question.
It's a thinker and a stinker. No,
I got this.
I'm sure it's great.
I got this yesterday, and I saw it, and I was like, ooh, this is I'm really gonna have to walk a tightrope with this one. This one might be easier for you. See,
this is that shit because like you've already seen it, you know what's coming.
And I admit that it's not fair, but I also think that you might be able to come across an answer easier than I will, without getting myself, stepping in some shit.
Well, this sounds like some real craziness.
Clayton asked,
"Give it to me.
What counts as bad taste when it comes to anime?"
Now, you're going to have to explain to me exactly what you think that means. Because are we talking like, I have bad taste in anime, or this anime is in bad taste?
Yeah, what anime would you... What puts an anime in poor taste for you?
So...
Because I can easily say, whenever they do the whole underage girl thing, and they make the little girls with the big boobies and shit like that, and it's in poor taste, but... Here I am, like watching Icky Tussin, watching High School DxD, and it doesn't even bother me the slightest. So I feel like a big fat hypocrite saying giving that answer out.
I definitely feel like this is one I've touched on several times in the past. They're not
drawn like 8-year-olds. They're at least drawn like teenagers.
No, that's the thing is like I'm totally with you on that. Like that's the thing for me is like when it's the easiest way for me to do it, and obviously this is subjective. It's hugely subjective, but if I can, I don't know who said the quote, but the quote was, what constitutes pornography? Well, I don't know, but I'll know it when I see it. So for me, the thing is, it's when if I'm watching something and I get the feeling it's trying to elicit a perhaps perverse or sexual reaction from me. Like if I see something I'm like, well, that's trying to make me horny, that doesn't do it for me. That's the shit I'm like, dumb, I'm out.
Right.
So like, yeah, usually that is when you have like, and it very often with like the joke I made before was when I was talking about Magical Girl Ore. There's the pink-haired girl, and there's her quiet friend who's very quiet and shy and has big tits because anime. Because that's how anime works. That's the joke. Ha ha ha. It's a trope. Yeah, I mean that kind of stuff when it's like tropiness, when it's just overtly sexual for sexuality's sake. When it is, it very often it is like shows about kids, young teenagers, less than 17 or 18,
right?
And they are drawn like with big tits and shit, and it's like, okay, well, what are you trying to tell me right now? That's the kind of stuff where I'm like, I don't care. But it doesn't have to be that. It could be like these are clearly adults, but this lady with the huge knackers, as Haruko I think
knackers.
Said, is walking around in like a teeny bikini and like, she's like fighting and her boobs just keep shaking and shit, that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not into this at all. Now there can be exceptions, as I famously talked about the show I watched as recommended to me by a friend at work who's mostly into that shit. He told me, hey, you should check out Shimonetta. That's a show that very much plays on those tropes, but it does it in such a way that I thought it made sense for the story, because it was about this world where like you're not allowed to have any of this perversion, to the point that
it's not the big booby fan service.
Yeah, to the point that people like don't know where babies come from. They don't know anything about sex, and that's the whole point, is that these characters are trying to exposed into that and like, hey, get some sex ed education. That stuff for me was like, haha, that's funny, and it was played for laughs, and I thought it was fun. But like usually if it's like, oh, here's a tiny girl with big tits and her skirt is so tiny and look at all the panties, I'm like, you lost me a while ago. Right. I'm just already out.
Yeah, and that's why like it's a tricky question. Like I felt immediately like it was a tricky question.
Yeah, you were right about this one, because it is not tricky for me.
Yeah,
I know my lines.
Like I can, it's easy for me to say, yeah, like if it's they do like the 8-year-old or 9-year-old with the big boobs or whatever, try to have sexual feelings towards something like that. It's in poor taste. It's bad taste, and I probably draw the line there, but. I can't say too much because I can watch High School DxD where it is in the title, these are high school students and they have very big breasts and the breasts are shown off.
And it's like, crazy sex stuff.
Yeah, and I
yucky slime.
Yeah, the yucky slime. And I have, I loved that anime. I thought it was really good.
It was fun. It was fun and funny, and you enjoyed it.
Right. Yeah. And I guess you could say, well, at least they're teenagers, but really that doesn't make any fucking
I'm
better.
I'm not going to judge you for that much.
Yeah. If I did get judged for it, it's whatever. I mean...
Hey, man, I ain't going to lie about it.
It's whatever. That one's hard for me to answer, though, because, where do you draw the line? Why can't I draw that line easier?
That's the thing. It's like, for some folks, I myself, I feel like I know where my lines are, and I feel like they are clearly defined. People, I get why you wouldn't. It's entertainment, and it's meant to be, you're meant to be able to have opinions about it.
Yeah,
obviously.
and it's not like,
opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has them, and they all stink.
It's not like on High School DxD, okay? Rias is the main female character,
Sure.
Like, there's her nipple, it's exposed. I'm
Haven't
not immediately pausing like, oh, I'm whacking into this. I'm whacking it off to this.
But somebody is.
Somebody is
for sure.
Yeah. And should I judge them? No, not really.
My whole thing with that is like, particularly, we talked about fan service before. We had a conversation after one recording about fan service, and my whole thing was like, I just don't get why. Like, just any example. Just give me any anime. Just name an anime, anything. Pokemon. Let's say someone wanted some fan service in Pokemon, and like that was the thing that they wanted, and that's the thing that they were looking for. My whole thing is like,
James with big boobies.
Well, yeah, I mean, that happened.
Removed in the U.S.,
as was the Porygon episode, Too Many Seizures. Right. But, like, so with that one, I'm like, okay, but, buddy, give me your phone. I'll find you some Pokemon porn.
Oh yeah, man.
And I'm like,
if
that's what you're looking for, I don't get why. Does it have to be that the person who made the show drew it? Is that what gets you off? Like, I just don't get it. For me, that's a thing that I just do not understand.
Right.
The whole fan service thing. And so for me, that's a thing where like for example, I love me some MHA. Those shots when like in the first episode or second episode of this latest season, when like the girls are running to the bus and you see like, oh, here's a quick like all their skirts fluttering and you get like a quick panty shot or whatever, and it cuts to Mineta being like, because that's Mineta that's seeing that. I'm like, part of me is like, shitty. Why'd you need to throw that in?
At least in that situation, I could make the argument that the shot was done
from the perspective of Mineta,
yeah.
And I get it.
Whereas if Mineta wasn't there, then it would be a lot harder. It'd be like,
all right, well, you really just... But see, that's the thing. Then it's like, oh, you're just using the character to give them that moment and blah, 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 whatever. I don't know. I mean, that's one that, like, again, I'm like, yeah, gray area, whatever. It doesn't really bother me. But, like, I don't know. I don't... I say all this stuff and I feel like I come across as a straight up prude. Fine. But I just...
And it's crazy because I am prudish in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I know
especially
you are.
whenever it comes to real life. Like,
I make a dick joke with this guy and he's just like, fucking dumb. And he just shakes his head. Sometimes
especially like, well, I mean, I'm a little more laid back around my closest friends. But if I'm in public around a bunch of people that... Or where I'm in a professional setting...
Remember that time? It was me, you, Honkin' Good Buddy, and Magic Good Buddy, and we were at the fucking pizza place, and I started the conversation. Hey man, real question: would you fuck the green M&M?
Oh, dude, yes, that was the worst, man.
It was awful. It was so bad.
There was a
sitting there having a great
with his two daughters.
I didn't know he was behind me. There was a dad, his two. Clearly, like, young teenage kid. The boy was like 9, 10. I didn't know they were behind me, and I felt like a fucking asshole. And he turns around and is like, hey, man, can you chill? And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, sorry.
And my face, and so...
That conversation went on for like 3 minutes before he stopped me.
But then we have people like Magic Good Buddy who just can't leave it alone.
Oh, yeah, he'll fuck it up. He don't give a good goddamn.
He did not give a shit.
He's like, what they got to tell you? And I was like, dude, chill, it's nothing. He's like, no, what's going on? It's like, dude, forget it.
Yeah, and he's very loud about it. And then immediately, he's like, I'm not tipping anybody. It's just a whole bad... That whole day was... I was like, this was... I love my good buddies, but this was a miserable experience.
I gotta say, that's like the first and last time I remember all of us going out to eat somewhere. Like, you never come.
Yeah, I was like, this is not in a public setting. This is not how I conduct myself.
I felt like such a goddamn asshole. Oh no,
but
holy shit. But yeah, that was a fucking great question. Now, just in case the question was about did you like confirm like this is about what's
I didn't.
Distasteful? Okay, so just in case the question was about if I'm talking about anime with someone and they bring up something, I'm like, you have bad taste in anime. Anything with too many tits. Done.
Okay. High school DxD. That's what. Yeah.
So if someone brings that up, you're like, you have bad taste in anime.
Back on the first side too, like yeah, well, maybe even on the second side, like I watched Goblin Slayer, and I warned you because there's a certain scene in there that's very heavy.
Yeah, I mean, that's not for me.
Yeah, and I could see somebody easily making the argument like that is in poor taste.
I feel like as long as you know what you're in for, then it's hard to say anything's in poor taste, unless it's like straight up, like you said, the 8-year-olds, and it's hypersexualized, and I'm like, no, fuck you. You're a bad person.
Yeah, it's there so you can beat it.
You're bad for making it, and you're bad for watching it.
Yeah. But yeah, great question, Clayton.
That was a really good one.
That was a real thinker, man.
I really enjoyed that one. I feel like we got that was the whole package. We got a good question. We had some good responses to it. They were fairly differing responses, and we got a ridiculous backstory on our lives, which I'm very embarrassed about, and I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry.
But also in the episode, you got a good story from.
We got a nice little Laturd story.
A piece of my life from Laturd, yeah.
Somebody asked him about the pocket knife.
Somebody good buddies asking me about a Laturd story.
But I think we're good to go. Yeah, that was the only question we had.
Yep, that was it.
All right, well, let's hit the plugs.
All right, man.
We do, of course, as already mentioned, the Good Buddies animepod@gmail.com. You can hit us up there, ask us your questions, send us your comments. You got recommendations, something you want us to watch, something that's coming up. You're like, hey, you guys should check this out, something. Let me tell you one thing. Obviously, we already covered fucking Made in Abyss. I love that show. I watched that trailer for the English version. I'm gonna watch it again. It feels good. And I'm gonna fucking cry.
Crying again.
I'm gonna cry.
I didn't cry, but
I cried like a little bitch. I'm gonna again. Anyway, my treasure. All right. But
my beautiful baby boy.
My beautiful boy.
My smiley boy.
I got a response now. Next time you send me that fucking question, that fucking picture,
dude.
You asshole.
Now it's harder to do because every time I look at you, every time I text you on my phone,
it's that picture.
It's that picture. And I love it.
All right.
I love it. It's my smile.
Anyway, that's the Gmail is thegoodbuddiesanimepod@gmail.com. Send us your questions, comments, and recommendations there. We'd love to hear from you. We love you so much. Beyond that, of course, we do have the Facebook groups. That's The Good Buddies Universe on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Hit us up. Ask to join. You'll get approved. Probably. We also have the Twitter. Will. The Twitter is TGB_animepod. Hit us up there. We also have the Tumblr, thegoodbuddies.tumblr.com. There's even the YouTube page where you may be listening to this right now. That's Rapid Kick Media. You can also check out a bunch of other stuff there. You got your wrestling, you're talking Smash, Two Dudes, One Couch, good shit. Now, I do want to point out, of course, as I always do, yes, all those things have different names. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Beyond that, we do, of course, want to say again that you can enjoy us anywhere your fine podcasts are sold, even though we don't sell them. As Stitcher, we got them on Podbean. I use Podcast Addict, iTunes, all kind of stuff. Not on Spotify because, stuff. But check us out. Please smash that like button. Give us a 5 stars, thumbs up, whatever there is, and leave us a comment. Pretty much any of these places we mentioned, if you send us or mention us or at us and have a question or something, odds are we're going to find it, and
if you have a question about a certain pocket knife story, I would love to tell.
This guy.
Maybe Brandon will write into next week's episode.
I just might, just to really get it out of you. Anyway, but yeah, that's a lot of good stuff. We do want to go on to the meaty stuff. So that's it for all our regular plugs. We do, of course, want to give a shout out to our good buddies, Married with Seamonsters, a.k.a. the Mary Janes, for the use of our opening theme song, Paperdoll. That is, now, the Married with Seamonsters is on Spotify, unlike us, because they're so much cooler. Mm-hmm. But that song, as well as a lot of their other cool hits, are only available on marriedwithseamonsters.bandcamp.com.
You can download some of them for free.
You can indeed.
Not all of them.
Check them out. It's hot stuff.
I should know if you can download all of them for free. I believe you can.
I mean, if you're a bad enough dude, you're going to get them all anyway. Yeah. You're just going to pay for them if you have
Anything
to.
You've heard on the channel, I've downloaded for free. So
it's good stuff, baby. Beyond that, we do want to give a shout out to our good buddy Petty Theft. That is how you pronounce it. 2 P's at the beginning.
Buck a wild they are. There, dude.
2 P's at the beginning, 2 T's at the end. That's Petty Theft. You can find them on SoundCloud and on Twitter. Our good buddy Petty Theft for the use of our clothing theme song, which we are currently still calling Sweet Anime Dreams. It's good stuff. They got good stuff. Check them out. And I believe that's it for the plugs and everything. Yep. Roger, I think you're taking us out.
I'm taking us out.
I'll give it to me, baby. But from all of us here at the Good Buddies universe, I'm your good buddy Brandon.
I'm your good buddy Roger. I'm a virgin.